Hello friends, and welcome to Looking at the Markets with David Modell. I'm going to show you a stock chart pattern, which I like, and it's not just for stocks. It can be used for cryptocurrencies, currencies, or commodities, or whatever you like, and it doesn't just have to be for day trading. It could be for swing trading. You could use it on the daily candlestick chart or the 1 or 2 or 5 minute candlestick chart, whatever it is you like. And it is not perfect. It does not work 100% of the time, so be careful and make your own decisions with these things. And also I should mention that I do offer coaching, so if you need more help with candlestick patterns, trading or investing, putting together a trading or investing plan, because you do definitely want to have a plan for your trading, your investing, you can email me. I do offer coaching. My email address is davidmodell@gmail.com. All right, so what is this pattern that I'm looking for? Well, specifically, I want to look for a Doji Candlestick in oversold territory, as measured either by the RSI or the stochastics or MACD or whatever it is you use to decide that a stock is oversold. So if there's a Doji Candlestick while the stock or whatever it is, commodity, currency, whatever, is in oversold territory, and then there's a nice gap up in the next candle, I believe that could be oftentimes a bullish sign. It could be a possible buy signal if you choose to interpret it that way. All right, so let's do a little review of the Doji Candlestick. This is an example of a Doji Candlestick, and I do have an entire playlist that can give you the basics on candlesticks and technical indicators. And so if you want to click on the playlist in the description below this video, I have a lot of videos on the basics of technical trading. All right, so this is an example of a Doji Candlestick, and this is just pretty much a neutral one. The wicks or shadows are not super long. If they were very long, it would be a long-legged Doji Candlestick. And if the body, the almost non-existent body, which is really just a line here, if it were at the top, that would be considered a dragonfly Doji Candlestick, and if it were at the bottom, that would be a gravestone Doji Candlestick. And then this one's just kind of a neutral one. So what you want to look for, just a really basic review on the Doji, is if the opening and closing prices for this period are the same or nearly the same, then the body, which is usually a box or rectangle, is just flattened. It's not even a box anymore. It's just a line, just a horizontal line. All right, and so that tends to oftentimes, not always, but sometimes it signals either neutrality or indecision. And if there is indecision, then it could signal a turnaround in price. And so if this is, if the stock went down, 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 and then maybe started to go sideways a little bit, not down as fast, and it's in oversold territory, maybe on the RSI it's below 30, or on the stochastics it's below 20, for example, and then you see this, that could be a potential signal for a turnaround, possibly in the making. All right, it could be what they call a reversal signal, reversal candle. All right, so that's the Doji, and then I tend to look for a gap up, a nice gap up in the next period, the next candle. All right. So here's another example of just pretty much a neutral Doji. It's not a long-legged one or gravestone or a dragonfly or anything special like that. And then you got your gap up in the next one, and a really nice gap up too, with plenty of momentum. Not only was it a gap up, but it closed higher than it opened for sure. And so that could be a very bullish signal, especially if this was preceded by candles going down and then kind of just slowing down and then going sideways. And if the RSI or stochastics, whatever, indicate it's oversold and then jumping out of oversold territory, that's really nice. Now, sometimes people ask, well, does it have to be strictly a Doji? Can it be a spinning top where the body is a rectangle? It's not exactly flat. Sure, I don't know if this is as powerful a signal though. This is an example that's not as powerful for two reasons. First, potentially not as powerful for two reasons. First, it may not be as much of an indecision and therefore a turnaround or reversal type of candle. I mean, this one may not be as powerful because it's not strictly a doji. It is a spinning top where there is a little bit of difference between the opening and closing prices. All right. Whereas this one, you really had indecision. The opening and closing were really, really flat there, really, really similar. Okay. And also notice that in this one, the gap up isn't as big. All right. And so this one just to me does not look as powerful as this one, where the gap up is bigger, and this is a true doji rather than a spinning top. All right, so where do I want to see this happen? Well, you may want to look for something like this. This is an example. I used RSI, and this is 30, this is 70, standard settings, but this could just as easily be stochastics with 20 and 80 or whatever. You can use MACD, but notice that this was in oversold, all right? It was nice and cheap, and it was going down, but not really very fast. The downward momentum seems to be pretty slow here, and then you get a nice gap up, and look what happened after that. Up and away. When can you sell? Well, if you're going to use, for example, this is RSI. If this is 70 reading on RSI, then you could wait until it goes into overbought, or you could even wait until it goes into overbought and then goes back out of overbought, crosses back below 70, and then you could have sold, here or here. Either way, it's around the same price. It's pretty similar. But if you waited until it went into overbought and then went out of overbought territory, you would have sold right about here for a very nice profit from here to here. Okay, so that's just one example. And that's something that you can look for, all right? Hey, if you like this video, if it helped you, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube and leave a comment. Have you used this kind of pattern? Have you heard it before? I think it's pretty interesting. And if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. And hit that notification bell so you can receive updates whenever I put out new educational financial videos. And feel free to contact me by email, davidmodell@gmail.com, if you're interested in the coaching. Hey, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you again soon.